We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle around to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we bring ourselves into the world. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle around to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the world. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love.
Society where that kind of thing happens, other people can decide about a society where that something else happens, right? I can be a voice for the love. I can be a voice for creating a new world. And so this sense of urgency came. You know, I don't have to wait till I'm ready. I don't have to wait till I have it all nailed down. I don't have to wait till I have the right words or the right name or the right... So I don't know what it looks like, but I just have this renewed sense of it's not only for me. When I started reading the course, when I realized the only thing I need to work on is myself. And through that peace, peace will be, peace will reign. And I think that's true from a quantum perspective. And in order for me now to feel that peace, I also have to fully express. So there's a part of me that wants to fully express the thankless job in a way, because it's so difficult. The jaws of culture are like, they're so tight. And I witnessed this today, this weekend, that all you have to do is open the heart. You want culture to change? Open the heart.
How did that happen? Did somebody tell a story or?
Yes.
Because I feel that's what happened with you, Mary.
Yeah.
She just lost her mom. And how many, so out of 400 people, how many people no longer have their mom living to talk? She could not say a word, but her friend dragged her up there. She couldn't say a word. And so she just turns to him, she says, if this was karaoke, I could do it. So she said, he said, what song do you want to sing on karaoke? And he just was so kind, like he gave everybody, he wasn't worried like what everybody else is thinking, is this on topic? He wasn't concerned about, it didn't seem like he was concerned about that. What do you want to sing? She says, Don't Stop Believing by Journey. She says, I know all the words, but I can't think of one single word. So she had, another person came up with a phone with all the lyrics, and she starts singing Don't Stop Believing. Oh my God. And then the next thing you know, if I could tell you, what does this have to do with anything? And then the next thing you know, everybody's singing, everybody's chanting for her, clapping for her, and then she could talk. Then she could say what she needed to say about the other stuff. So, and everybody thought that was amazing.
It is amazing.
It is amazing.
I mean, almost like
on so many levels.
Yeah.
So this is how the heart opens, and it keeps opening. And when somebody finds like what they're here to do, that's an opening also. This is how business gets done in the new world. So.
Well, and to see that this change is happening now.
And the urgency, that was what I was that she came out of it with.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah, the urgency.
But it's already in the consciousness of people, and they're beginning to respond.
Yes.
But it isn't quite where we're at. So it comes as almost miraculous when it happens. But that will be the norm.
I know.
That will be the norm.
I'm so excited
and
about
that's to recognize that, like you're saying, is huge.
Yeah, and I think too that when people come together for a purpose that is bigger than their individual, than themselves, that also creates some momentum. It starts here, and then to fully express what happens here out there. So
this is the doorway.
yeah.
I was thinking back about last year and remembering that I had you read something. And I'm thinking to myself, how did I even know you before that?
Because what happened was one day at Linda Nealon's house, we had a Skype call. And it was funny because I was wearing a baseball hat that day, and I was talking.
Yes, now I remember.
I was talking about something about what I had said to my son, and I don't even remember what exactly it was. But at the end of the time together, you said, "You in the cap."
I did really.
I can't remember your name, but you in the cap. You've got everything you need. Yeah.
It's as this sort of goes on, you really begin to kind of do this tracing, like how I met you. But it was a long time. Now I'm not real clear on when it was, but it was a while ago.
Several years before.
Yeah.
Yeah, you two had met
Oh, I
before?
didn't
Well, we hadn't met in person, but
I think I emailed you. Another friend pushed me to email you because you
don't blame it on me.
Because you bought the first set of books for me. I think Steph, somebody gave you a set. And when I got them and started reading, I said, okay.
Somebody wrote my
And
book.
somebody wrote my book already.
Well, it's basically they're saying you should upgrade your internet, and they open the back of this truck and it's all this light, that comes out. And she said that's the way she would envision her healing and her therapies and everything. Well, that was the sense I got with Mary yesterday, was this sense of this. She just opened up her heart, and there it all was. I was talking about your sharing yesterday, and just, your heart was. Nobody could miss it. Nobody could miss that you were completely present, showing up 150%. And there was something, despite the fact that you were saying, I haven't done this before, that, I don't know, it not only didn't detract from what you were, it just added, you were presenting, it added to the sense of authenticity and the power of what was felt. Because when we relax into being really authentic, then everyone else can.
Well, I really think I got help with that. That I was so worried that I would go into the old operating system, if we can use that term. Lost knowing myself, my human self, of how I could get. And I started handwriting it right before, in the morning before we came. And that really helped me with the words. But then I don't have any recollection of, you probably know this too, Mari, of what I said other than feeling love. that I don't know if I think I told the story okay. I hope I made some sense.
Yeah.
But all I knew was I felt love, and I was going to give love.
Mm-hmm.
But I was so worried in spiritual circles with illusion, and this isn't real, and that's not real. That was my fear, and that's why I think I mentioned I had to define my meaning of a dream.
Mm-hmm.
Because they say if you live in the dream, it's an illusion.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, when I dream, I step out of time.
I love that so much.
Yes.
Yeah.
You made that very clear.
And I knew I had to,
Yeah.
because there's a camp that was going to say one thing, and I didn't want them confused. And I also wanted them to know how those dreams move me into this world divinely.
Mm-hmm.
They point the way for Mari. It doesn't matter.
Mhm.
I can have a dream, it may not be for me.
Mhm.
This is a result of
Yeah.
that connectivity.
Mm-hmm.
And they are so important in guidance. Elliot that gave me courage that day. I said, the Bible, everyone's dreaming.
Yes.
They're dreaming up one side and down the next.
Yeah.
Why can't I dream and believe it?
Yeah.
And I'm almost tempted to say, believe the dream.
Yeah.
Believe the dream.
Yeah.
It'll point the way.
Well, dream is a continuum.
Exactly.
Right? Just like anything else.
That's right. That's exactly it. That's a very good way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. But now with these, people, this is what I hate about things being in parts. Because people may misinterpret one word as to their interpretation of their part.
Yeah.
When you look at things universally, it doesn't matter.
The one thing you said though about they're dreaming all up and down in the Bible, and that's what when I talk about the courses, the Course in Miracles and the Course of Love, it's a modern day scripture.
Exactly.
It's a modern day scripture. It's no different than
exactly.
And what I always say is, it amazes me that I used to think that God would stop revealing God's self to God's children. That makes no sense.
Yes. Why would that stop?
What I was talking about yesterday about the ordinal time coming. I mean, this
Yes.
was 1998, and when she told me about New Course in Miracles, when I found those notes, you and Mary will have something to do with the end of ordinal time. I mean, this
Ordinary time, is that what you're saying? Ordinal.
you could,
I don't know.
I don't
You
know
could
whether
call
the
it-
word was ordinal or ordinary.
But it means the same thing.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
kind of like
This
the
time.
of Christ, and there's that.
Right.
Yeah.
This to me was the start of us living it together.
Yes.
Coming here together and
Living it in the world. Yeah.
Wow.
And
I mean,
of
I'm not
course,
trying to
because
clown or
it's two or
anything.
more. Because it's two or more.
I'm sorry.
It's two or more.
Yeah.
Do you know? I mean, it makes so much sense that, and I was telling Mary how you had begun your whole talk last year about talking about the story about how this all came to be through actually now be doing this together is really, really.
And that whole continuum, like you said, I mean, it didn't stop, with the Course of Love.
Mentioned y'all's names are Mary, birthing, bringing to us the Christ, the new Christ. Like when you were in front, a few times I saw you all. Oh, these are the Marys. These are the Marys. These are the ancient Essene midwives rebirthed in this time. These are the Marys.
Wow.
I was like, oh, okay, these are the Marys.
The Marys. Yeah.
That lineage of Mary.
Yes.
So she was like, wait a minute, you need to, but she gave me a pep talk about, I'm not the whole story I was having about myself. That's not really you. So this is who you are. So give her. And so she really pushed me, and it was a really hard thing to do. but you were so gracious. I forgot what I said. I don't know if it was something like I wanted to introduce myself and how much I felt in alignment with what I was reading, and it may have been something around my own ministry or something. I think I had a question or something.
I think you were doing, is it Ecclesia?
Ecclesia. Oh, maybe that's what it was. I wanted to try a group.
Yeah.
And I think I contacted you about how to do that, or were there other groups? I think that might have been essentially it. And then we started kind of some back and forth, and we shared some just general stuff. And then eventually I sent you
a card to your devotion,
mm-hmm.
which is your life.
Yeah.
Your life is your devotion.
Yeah. So, I wanted you to kind of meet me in that way.
That was what, I mean, I was thrilled to be talking to you, but when I heard your voice, it was like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it really is like knowing you inside me. Because your voice is so, it's like it comes right into you.
Yes. Beautifully said. Is that I didn't see it because I was hiding, but I felt it. What I got was I experienced it through sound. I experienced it, so I couldn't shut it out. I wasn't looking at it, I was hiding, but that I got it. And there's ways in which I have lived since then in this, like all of the world is to be, I should protect from. And so, this period, which I call my coming out from hiding period, at 60 I'm ready to come peek around the bureau and come out and trust that actually people have stopped fighting quite some time ago, actually. The way I took that sound in, and the way the story, the unconscious story I told about myself, being in the midst of that chaos and making decisions in life as if that chaos was continuing, it made it impossible for me to use chanting in my devotion because it would have completely dismantled that story about who I was. I don't know if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Like I couldn't, because they told me in seminary, you need to use chanting as part of your devotion. I tried it for 2 days and I chanted 101 names of the goddess. And it blew my whole heart open so big that I couldn't handle it. And I didn't know then that I couldn't handle it because an unconscious story I had was only people who must not be worth very much go through the kinds of things I went through. That's the unconscious truth I was carrying. So I could not do that chant every day because then I would have... It was bigger. It was more than I could handle. It was not the truth of who I believed I was. The chant showed me how big, how all of us, I am a giant, as we all are. The chant showed me that I can't be contained in the body and in a few words. Like the chant blew all of that open, And the unconscious reality I had was surely I'm not worthy of that. So there was this, I couldn't live both realities. So I couldn't continue to chant. I couldn't be that big. I didn't have permission from myself. So I had to live more years and have like Helen. My midwife, my spiritual midwife. Oh, you don't know who you are. You don't know, but I know who you are, and I'm going to hold space until you get there. In my life that saw things. And, while I was living the one story about thinking what I wasn't, these people would say, "We know who you are." Yes. And so. And I'm sure that the way she and other people have held space to me allowed me to, grace. Like the kinds of decisions I could have made to destroy myself, because that's what I believed I deserved. Over and over again, grace, people holding space for me. And So yeah, it's a real story of triumph in terms of unlearning over time, unlearning that sense of how rooted I was in the chaos of the violence and the abuse and that kind of stuff. And not on purpose. Like in my mind, I'm going along trying to do good things, inspire people, and I think I did some of that even in my own, lack of a real sense of truth. I think, that's one of the things I like about the Bible. Some of those people were jacked up, but they were still doing good. And when they were able to open their hearts, they still, I love it. I was like, well, they're jacked up. I can do some stuff too.
Yeah.
God doesn't discriminate. Jacked up to hot.
Yeah, God doesn't say you're jacked up. Ouch.
Yes, but growing into that truth, and I feel like that has happened over years. So that's the time it is for me now. I'm literally, I feel like the residual from my holding on to that part of my identity is unhindered.
I don't know if this happened to you because you use your voice, but after Grace, my daughter, died, my husband, who's a musician, I was in so much pain. He seemed to be coping better than I. He said, he has a little studio downstairs. He put headphones on me and he said, sing your pain out. Sing it out. So, do whatever and you put on music, and I just sang. I don't know how many hours.
Yeah.
You reach an altered state.
Yeah.
Talking about the chanting, just your voice. How your voice may have saved you in certain ways.
I believe it's true. Absolutely believe
because
it's
you're moving that energy outward.
Don't use what is within. It will kill you if you use what is within. Grow it within. It will save you.
Yeah. That was Gospel of Thomas?
Yes.
Yes.
That's so great. I want to share with you, Mary, because it's a perfect time to share with you, and I don't know if Mari did, but I also had an infant loss.
You did?
Yes, story, but at some point. But singing was my grieving. My grieving was, and I'll tell you what album it was. It was Placido Domingo. I still remember how. Let me hold you in my arms. I love you once more. Now, let me take you back to how it used to be. Maybe you will find you're still in love with me now. But it's like really, and just being able to sing that in other songs that would just, and over and over and over and over and over and turn on. Sing it out. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I felt a strong bond with you yesterday when you were sharing. And it is a bond. It really is a bond.
It is a bond.
I do remember at the time when people were offering condolences. I said this to Retta the other day. No one had the credential.
Yeah.
No one had the credential to receive my sorrow and my story, right?
Yes.
For the longest time.
No.
And then that's why support groups, I think, can be really helpful for a lot of things, because when you share a similar kind of experience, there's a place to receive the story, So
and it's the going home with your pain and being with it, and when the house is quiet, and you're just like, almost, how did I get here? And yet there's this vibrating, pulsating sorrow within you that is going to lead you somewhere.
The life in it.
The life in
that's
it.
That's what's occurring to me right now.
Yes.
The life in that music.
Yes.
I didn't realize it at the time, but how life-giving that was. It was giving my life back to me. It was giving my heart back to me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
we've learned that you never know when, for instance, right now, the gold is where you least expect. You can't try to do that. It's not about, and this is what's so powerful about dialogue. The minute you try is the minute you've lost it. It's when you're natural that everything comes.
Yeah.
Just like it is creativity.
Exactly.
And the beautiful thing that we've discovered in dialogue is you can have disparate views, and those start falling away, and you meet somewhere. And then you begin to move together. Maybe not unlike what you experienced on your trip.
Yeah.
Of the ability to be creators as one. That we are designed that way. Whether you're outside or inside, that spirit is with you. Now we may have to have the laws of the physical, which are being broken through by this time and time again. But I don't think people realize you wouldn't be talking. You know, you can call it whatever you want. You would not be here. When your spirit decides to go, it'll go. But this is the continuum that I'm seeing. Yes, we have the physical. Frankly, there is so much beauty on this earth, I can't stand it. I sit here. It's like, I love the chair, call me crazy. But the flowers. Yeah. I'm taking it with me. This is great. But it's the animation of spirit and the continuum that we are carried with spirit no matter where we go. The embodiment of this divinity is in the change you're talking about. It is here.
The word change, because I have been playing with this language to say to people, instead of trying to make it a better world, instead of trying to change the world, I think it would be a lot easier if we just created a new one.
That's it.
And people actually agree with me.
Yes.
Because they know, they've tried, they've run up against how difficult it can be to change, or to make better something that, isn't working. Well, I said, what about if we just scrap the idea of change and making it different? What about if we just started again? And they like it.
And that's what's happening.
Well, that's a course of love.
Yes, I know.
That's a course of love. And the funny thing between Mari and I, having this forgetfulness, and finally it dawns on me, Mari, this is the old operating system. It's gone. Mm-hmm. Why would you try to recall things that way?
Absolutely.
And so what the focus is now here.
Going to try and fix or recreate something that's not there. Like you go to grab for it, but it's not there. Whereas if you're building something new, you actually are
to create it.
Yeah, you get to create it.
Well, if you don't even remember, like what's happening to us, we don't even know what we're missing.
I love that you said that, though, because I find that too, and the forgetting and so forth. And also when it comes to, I don't know, I think we always have to I always want to be open to healing new levels of things that need to come up. But I really trust they're going to come up. I don't feel like I have to go digging for them.
Yeah.
They'll come up in a conversation when I respond in a way that's inappropriate, and I get a chance to say, now where the heck did that come from? Or why did you think you needed to say that? Mm-hmm. And it'll come. Mm-hmm. But I love that we are, and I want to share something about this, because for me, one of the big things that is just right here for me is that I have always felt like a pilgrim soul. I've always felt that I don't really belong here. We talked about this in our circle when many times that there's this sense that I just want to go home. I just want to go home, and I'm finally getting it that I'm not going anywhere. And all of a sudden, it's like my feet are planted. Yeah. I'm like, oh wait a minute. I want to be here for a while, because I have stuff to do. I have things to do. I'm not even born yet. I'm not even, I haven't even fully shown up yet, and I'm in my 60s.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's like, no, hold on. When I get there, I want to really already be there.
Right.
I want to just slip from one, like, oh.
Live for. It's like sometimes I think about just quitting Course of Love stuff. I just want to quit because like what I did yesterday is not necessarily what I want to do, And then this is what I want. So this is what I'm kind of excited. I feel we are creating the new.
Yes.
And some of it happens by seeing what you don't think is all that great, And it's like, I've known for a while, it's like, I want to do dialogue. I want to do things different. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to bring this more so into the world other than what we're doing. But I think that one of the keys is this coming together of Mary and I.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And probably a lot of other women.
And it might just be, what's the next clue? What's the next clue? So you're here. So you followed the trail and you got here.
Yeah.
And now, so what's the clue? What's the gold? What's the
revelation? It's all
the shiny thing that's just like past in your periphery. What's that shiny thing? And then go there.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, that's how we operated in the beginning, Mari. We didn't know what we were doing in the beginning. It was
I think this is the new strategic plan.
Conscious non-planning.
Yeah.
But I think what had happened with me, which is part of what I said this weekend too, was I translated that dream into working for God. And I have been God's worker bee.
Huge.
I have been God's worker bee for 20 years. And I'm tired. And I want it to be different. I want it to be joyous, which I would tell people, I want Mary to be with me because I have fun.
Yeah.
I have melancholy. That day, and I'm like, yeah, me too. But it's like this, I'm ready to break.
Yes.
I want to break out of being the worker bee particularly. I don't mind the melancholy. I find it soulful. But I
think about God's helper. I think about God and helper. And so when I think about you, I think about just that the one voice that comes for the many. So it didn't feel like you were helping, it felt like you were being.
Yeah, I don't know. This is really touching on something here. But I have felt alone, and I have worked really hard. I've exhausted myself with work in a lot of different ways, and I know it's time to change. And that's not ever what Jesus wanted me to do in a way, to only do the work. And I think I got lost a little behind the work. Yeah. So.
It's a lot to carry.
Material, for one thing.
Yeah.
You're the voice for the material also. And managing,
Oh, that's what I'm thinking masculine, was the technical. It's like all those things. You want to do something, but then you have to have, the technology. You want to put something up on the website, but then you have to have, it's like that. It feels like nothing is ever sort of simple because, I have to do this, and then I have to do this, and then I have to do this before I can do that. And then, anyway, this is sort of the life I've been living. And also, sometimes especially I think with the men, finding a place for myself. Yeah. It's like this is about Jesus. This is about
Yes.
the course.
Yes.
You know, but it's also about me. It is. You know, so. Yeah.
I want to encourage you to stay with how you're feeling right now.
Oh yeah, you're about to experience Retta.
And we can kind of hold you there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to go hide in the bathroom.
No, please don't.
We want to hold your hand here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Stay with it for a minute.
It's a lot of years, Mari. A lot of years. I'm working really hard to have someone really just allow me to be in that and to really be in it. Be in it, be in it, be in it, be in it, be in it. I have personally found that very helpful in getting to the other side.
And I find it hard to be in it.
Most of us do.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Especially in front of others.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's one thing to cry, another thing to show your pain in public. But it's so, we need to embrace everything. Yes, exactly.
One of the healing modalities I do is about this. It's about being connected to people who care and showing our deepest vulnerability and the power of that to transform that into something else.
Exactly.
It took me 2 years of going to that weekly, sometimes more than once a week, being in settings. My mind would be like, I don't know these people. They won't be up over their head. I don't know these people. You know, and when I did cry, it was awkward. And the way my old stuff runs about, you know, being isolated, like I have to do it on my own. These people don't know me well enough. I have to do my healing on my own. It was so deeply embedded that I didn't believe them when they would say, you know, there is real healing power in just being witnessed by somebody that cares. It's a different healing experience. You're grieving, and you're showing up to this moment with the intensity of what you've been doing. Like, we get to be with you. You know?
We get to be with you.
It's an honor.
We get to be with each other.
Yeah. God is here too, right? It's not just when we're in our joy and when everything's so wonderful. Actually, God is in here too.
I couldn't find myself. And I was in group, and it was a big transformation. So I'm always speaking that to say, it's hard and it feels wonderful, but we all know that when we go through these times, there's so much. It's such a blessing. I'd love to tell you more about it, but no time. You can tell me now. I ain't gonna save you from her.
Let's breathe. Allowing our energy to go around this circle and just knowing that we're standing on sacred and holy ground. And with each of us, we feel the legions of legacy and the line all the way back to the first human walking on the planet. And we stand in the arms and the company of millions of beings waiting to this moment for us to find ourselves in this way, in this circle, in this moment. We have longed and waited for lifetimes to be here together in this moment. So we get to celebrate, we get to know, recognize each other's spirit as we journey this lifetime in these forms. We have come together not for the first time, but again. again. I just want to say out loud, we welcome to this circle. And as if anybody else has just some things to say before we begin to make sound.
Oh,
Just
just
have a
behind
space.
us, surrounding us, hordes of
As we can access. We have the Mari. We scream, we wail, we moan for every woman for all time. We mourn, we grieve for every woman, every baby, every little child, on behalf of all human beings in this moment. Feel calm, and then it's done, we breathe together. Can we sing a song?
I know I'm going to crash very soon, and can we do the chant we did last time? This one keeps
I'll go get.
haunting.
Do you want the drum?
It was you are the heartbeat. You are the heartbeat, and then you are the heartbeat. And I have that go through my head.
Mari doing Reddit.
It'll be up on YouTube tonight.
I think Mary sings, right? And
No. No.
Okay, well, that's a three-part song. Just maybe.
What's the song?
Maybe it's because it's the chorus of it, whether you were singing
Yeah, well,
or
that's
not.
true. That's true.
It's a great song to just kind of learn and sing together, you know.
Yeah.
So thank you, Mom.
We are the heartbeat.
We are the heartbeat.
We are the heartbeat.
We are. We are the heartbeat.
We are the heartbeat of the world.
We are the heartbeat. We are the heartbeat. We are the heartbeat of the world. We are the heartbeat. We are the heartbeat. We are the heartbeat of the world. We are the heartbeat. We are the heartbeat. We are the heartbeat of the world. We are the heartbeat. We are the heartbeat. We are the heartbeat of the world. We are the heartbeat. We are the heartbeat of the world. Hey, we are the heartbeat. We are the heartbeat. We are the heartbeat of the world. We are the heartbeat. We are the heartbeat. We are the heartbeat.